product is to cheapen its value in the eyes of the beholder. For this is more than mere soap. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, in order to spread the good word about Dr. Wilson's golden skin discovery, my company has authorized me to make you a present to you all of a bonus. Perhaps you've noticed me inserting certain sums of money into each bar of soap. Not gold, mind you, but perfectly good American greenbacks, ranging in denomination from $1 to $10. Now, who will take a chance? 50 cents a cake, and good fortune attend you all. Now, I've been told that a while ago, by accident, you understand, some of this soap was used in the cleaning of an old sheepskin. That sheepskin...
Howdy.
Hi. Preparing some kind of a reception?
Oh, it's more like a fare-thee-well. That feller's gonna need more than a barrel of his own soap to get himself clean before we get done with him.
Beer.
Well, one back out, Seth. We need more feathers. I'll get the beers. These are my 4 beers?
Yeah.
All right. Draw 2 more, huh?
Yeah.
Is there a hotel around here?
Yeah, there's one right down the block. Hey, it'll give you a good view of the fun.
The fun. But tell me, just what has this fella done?
Huh. He's a swindler. Man from the next town rode over and told us all about him. Yeah, he wraps some nickel cakes of soap up in some greenbacks. Sells them for 50 cents. Then folks think they gotta try at $10. But the man in the next town, he said that they drained that barrel dry and nobody got a red cent. So as soon as we're ready in here, we're gonna tar and feather him.
Well, you know his game. Why don't you just send him on his way?
That'd spoil everything.
You know, somehow I thought you'd say that.
You want me to see about getting your horse's bed down for the night?
No, thank you. I changed my mind. I won't be staying.
What's the matter, mister? You object to our kind of fun? Because if you do, you better not start interfering.
Have fun.
45, 46, 47. Well, all right, my dear, there you go. Huh? Now, who's next here? Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, a $5 winner. And blessings on you, little girl, although I think you can now afford to give me back that 3 cents, huh? Well, here we are down at the bottom of the barrel, men. Let's all dig down deep for that 50 cents, take a chance on some real profits, and a cake of Dr. Wilson's golden skin discovery. Whoa.
Come on up. Where are you going?
What an impossible note. Man of my parts, sleeping on the ground.
Just what are your parts, Buttermere?
Oh, anything with $1 in it, friend. I've had my ups and downs. Today a pauper, tomorrow who knows, maybe a king. I'll tell you something, friend. The world is a tree full of lollipops. All you gotta do is shake it, and the sweets come tumbling down.
You ever think about honest work?
Only in a nightmare. Tell me now, what's your game?
I'm a rancher.
Well, have you got a big spread?
Big enough.
Well-to-do, I expect, eh?
Not nearly.
But I thought all ranchers was rich.
Well, now, you see, ranching is like everything else. It has its ups and its downs. This happens to be one of the down times.
How big is your spread?
About 100,000 acres, more or less.
Look here, let me just touch you, friend. I've always wanted to rub up against $1 million.
Now, before you get yourself all worked up, you should know something. That land is worth about 14 cents an acre.
14 cents?
A couple of dry spells, everybody got burned out, tried to sell out, and that drives the price of land down.
I see. Tell me, any buyers?
About 6 months ago, there was a rumor that the government was going to buy up land for the Indians. But that was just a rumor, I guess.
I expect that built a lot of hopes up, didn't it?
That it did. Everybody held on, hoping to make a killing.
Suckers. That is a sucker's trait, friend. He always thinks that he can sit into a game with one little chip and walk off with a fortune.
That's your meat, I suppose.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Served on a plank, sir, with garnish.
Yeah, well, we better get some sleep.
Oh, one thing, friend.
Now what?
What part of the country do you come from?
South of here, near Spanish Wells.
And where exactly are you headed?
Tucson, picking up some breeders.
Oh, now that's quite a trip, isn't it? I expect that'll take you quite a while.
That's right. Quite a while.
Dear Fred, accept my apologies for leaving without farewells, but opportunity beckons. Best wishes for your continued success, and do give my regards to your family. Sincerely yours, Claude Buttermere. P.S. I took the liberty of borrowing your extra horse in return for any slight services I might have been to use.
Puss. Good evening. Would Mr. Lancer be at home, please?
Well, yes, he is.
And would you be kind enough to hand in my card?
Won't you come in, Major Parker?
Thank you.
Major Parker.
Mr. Lancer, I can't tell you how much I've looked forward to this meeting, especially since your son charged most gallantly into the ruffians and scattered them. Oh, I tell you, gentlemen, I've had my share of experiences with hard characters, but your Western bad man is beyond my powers to cope.
And then Scott lent you his horse?
Yes, he did. Oh, if it hadn't been for your brother, I'd have been a dead man and my poor child an orphan. Poor child. She must be tired. Oh, pity's sakes, it's after 10 o'clock. No wonder. Well, Mr. Lancer, I do thank you for your hospitality, sir.
You're not leaving now.
I can't impose any longer. Lavinia. Lavinia, wake up.
Yes, Papa.
Major Parker, I won't let you take that child any further. She's half dead for sleep already.
Oh, but really,
No, not another word. Come on, Lavinia.
Papa?
I'm afraid we must surrender, Vinny, dear. Come on over here and give your papa a kiss, hmm? Be a good girl, huh? Be very good.
What brings you to this section of the country, Major Parker?
Why, I'm conducting some surveys for the national government, Mr. Lancer. I'm afraid I cannot say more than that. It might constitute a conflict of interest.
Do you travel much with your father?
All the time. Since Mama died, Papa needs someone to take care of him.
What does your father do?
He works for the government, Bureau of Indian Affairs.
See what we're up against, Major. We're hauling water to what used to be water holes. But we've been lucky. Our stock losses have been slight. Others have not been so fortunate.
Your son told me that many of the settlers here are planning to pull out.
Oh, you can believe it. Most of these people bought their holdings for 50 cents an acre. They'd be lucky to get 5 cents on the dollar if they sell out. Excuse me.
Howdy.
Hey, lie down, Jay.
Campus, make your manners. Howdy, Mr. Lancer.
Howdy, this is our guest, Major Parker.
Howdy. We'll say howdy. Howdy, sir.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
I got the parley.
Sure, come on in the house.
This'll do out here.
Excuse us, Major. Sit down, Jay.
Sure been dry, ain't it?
Yeah.
Appears I've been about droughted out. You know, I got me about 1,000 acres up the Hungry Flats, up near Bone Mountain. Run about 100 head. 100 head. That land up there'd starve a jackrabbit right now.
What's your plan?
I just figured me and the boy had gone back to the mountains. I need money.
How much?
I'd give $200 for that 1,000 acres. I've done already offered it to the land office in town. Daniel Drew told me he'd give me $40.
He's robbing you.
That's what I figured. Always knowed he's a thief. That land borders on your range, Murdoch.
400.
I ain't asking for charity.
I'm not giving any. The land will be worth it. Money's over the house, Jay. Come on over and wet you dry.
I sure don't mind if I do.
How come he's so anxious to buy that land?
He ain't anxious. He's a friend. Maybe that's your trouble. You just ain't never learned to tell the difference.
I don't know. I don't get it. Paying $400 for 1,000 acres up by Bone Mountain when you couldn't get 12 cents an acre for it?
Oh, this won't cost you anything. I'm going into this deal by myself. You see, Johnny, when I first came to this country, I wintered in the Colorados with Jay McKillen. We got hit by a Shoshone war party. I got hit pretty bad. Well, Jay held him off. and then packed me over the mountains 70 miles to Taos to get my wound tended to. You see, I would have died if it hadn't been for that.
Well, then you don't mind if Scott and I come in on the deal with you, then?
No. Who knows? Someday that 1,000 acres might be worth something.
Good evening, Miss Teresa.
Good evening, Vinny.
Are you making that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just beautiful.
Would you like to try some?
I don't know how.
Well, it's not any harder than sewing.
I don't sew.
Surely you must have made some clothes for your dolls.
Well, I don't play with dolls.
Oh, mountain. What, 10,000 acres up there ain't enough to keep one little old calf alive.
We still have to check out a crew to check out fence line, right?
But it ain't worth fencing. Well, you're better off selling it to Uncle Daniel for whatever he'll give.
Uncle Daniel?
He's a local land agent. Daniel Drew likes to be called Uncle Daniel. You watch yourself if you have dealings with him.
It's a nice way of saying he's a hydrophobic skunk.
Now, what makes you think I'd be having dealings with the likes of him?
Well, won't you?
I suspect that a very small mouth has been making some very big talk.
Well, as a matter of fact, Vinny did say something to Teresa about you're looking for land.
Mr. Lancer, I'll have to ask you to keep that confidential, if I may. You see, I don't want land prices to skyrocket because of a certain interest in this section of the country on the part of the national government.
What are you prepared to pay?
A fair price.
Well, if you're paying a fair price, I'll have nothing to talk about.
Now, that's good. Because you see, in the hands of an irresponsible man, a talkative man, why, a rumor like that could spread like a prairie fire.
What's everybody looking at me for? No, I can't tell you. I ain't gonna tell you one word of what I know. Nobody asked you. Yeah. Well, all right, I'll just tell you this much. It has to do with Colonel Parker from the Indian Agency of Washington, D.C. That's the last you're gonna get out of me. Get it. Get it. Get it.
Come along, Vinny. We have to go to town for a while.
In a moment.
Lavinia?
Yes, Papa. Goodbye. Goodbye, Johnny.
See you later, Vinny. That poor child.
What's wrong?
Well, just look at her. She's a little grown-up woman.
What's wrong with that?
Well, she's never had a chance to be a child. She doesn't even know the things that a little girl should know. And the idea of being dragged around the country all the time.
What do you want to do? Keep her here forever?
Well, maybe you think I wouldn't like just that.
Well, I'll bet you're glad to be out of there for a while, huh, girl?
Yes, Papa.
Well, that's better. I was afraid for a while there you was going rube on me. All that embroidery and knitting and such nonsense. Whatever good would that do you?
Miss Teresa said it would be nice to know those things when I get married.
Married? Have you someone in mind now?
Maybe a little.
Are you fooling me, young lady? What's the lucky feller's name?
Johnny?
Well, I certainly hope all this domesticity hasn't put a damper on your more practical arts. Remember, the seeds have been sown, young lady. A wise farmer now does a bit of fertilizing. Head up there. Bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves.
Yes, indeed, sir. And how may I be of service to you?
Oh, I was just passing by, Mr. Drew. I happen to have some land interests, and I thought I'd have a look in.
Well, now, you call me Uncle Daniel. And your name, sir?
Oh, 'tis of no importance.
Well, I do like to know the name of the clients I hope to serve.
Well, that's very kind of you, sir, but I have no business with you, Mr. Drew.
Oh, business? But anyone who's interested in land around here has to have business with Uncle Daniel.
No, I merely came in to ascertain something here on your plat map. But thank you, gentlemen. I now have to have a meeting with my daughter. You think that's him?
Of course it's him, you idiot.
He don't look like no land buyer to me.
Shut up. I'm thinking.
Pardon me, is my father here?
Go away, little girl.
Wait a minute, hon. What's your father's name?
Major Parker. He said to come running if the telegram arrived, and here it is.
Oh, he asked me to hold that for him. Now, he's down at the Emporium. Now, if you run on down there just as fast as your little legs will carry, you can still catch him there.
But he said...
Now, run along, sweetheart. Imperative resettlement lands be acquired at once. In order to expedite purchase, authorize payment for Bone Mountain land of up to... Payment up to $7.50 per acre. Belden Indian Bureau. Come on, Timothy, let's go.
Honey, you're the greatest little roper in the business. Look at him go charging out of town, larceny in his heart, counting all the money he's gonna steal. You can bet he'll buy up every speck of land around Bone Mountain.
Bone Mountain? Where's that?
Who knows? It's worthless land, that's all that counts.
Park right on there. Smartest move you ever made.
Oh, Murdoch, the whole town's gone crazy. People are spending and buying everything in sight. They've raised prices again. A sack of flour is half again as much as it was 1 month ago. And Daniel Drew, he's buying up land options around Bone Mountain. You want to know what he's giving? 50 cents an acre. 10 cents an acre to buy in the bargain.
Bone Mountain.
Yeah, that property that we bought off of Jay McKillen. That was a pretty good deal.
Doesn't make sense. Why would anybody want to buy Bone Mountain land?
I don't know, but if I was Jay McKillen, I'd sure start wondering what was going on.
What is it, Vinny?
Teresa said she thought she left some embroidery hoops in here.
Oh, well, I didn't see any, but you can look around.
Is anything the matter?
Well, nothing that concerns you, Vinny.
Does it have anything to do with Bone Mountain?
Why do you ask that?
Like Papa says, I got big ears and I listen a lot. Is Bone Mountain going to get you in some kind of trouble?
Oh, no. No, not really. It's just that sometimes a turn of circumstance will put a strain on a relationship. Of course, if the relationship is strong enough, it'll survive.
I hope so. I surely do hope so.
Hey, come here. What's wrong?
Johnny, can I talk to you? I mean, really.
Well, sure. What do you want to talk about?
That Mr. McKillen. Can your pa really count him as a good friend?
Well, why do you want to know?
Just wondering.
How many, freckles you got on your nose?
I don't know. Depends on the time of year.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a funny thing, but, freckles are a lot like friends. I mean, if you gotta try and count them, you don't have them.
What does that mean?
You hungry? Come on, we'll talk about it over lunch.
Hello! House! What do you want?
Want a dicker?
Dicker, huh? Come on in. Cannabis. Say howdy to Mr. Drew.
Howdy.
Well, sir, what was it you wanted to dicker about?
Well, I'll come right to the point, Jay. I'm buying up that land of yours on Bone Mountain. No need to dicker. I'm willing to go all the way up to 25 cents an acre.
Well, now that sure is mighty big of you. But you're just a mite late. I've done already sold it to Lancer.
Lancer?
Yes, sir.
What'd he pay you for it?
400. Buildings and all throwed in.
That thieving sneak. I tell you right now, you were a fool to let it go at that price. I'd have gone 5 times what you got for it.
Well, I didn't have no way of knowing that. Neither'd Murdoch Lancer.
Lancer knew all right. He had that money man, Major Parker, from the Indian Agency, all neatly stashed away in that house of his.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you've been had as a fool, Jay. That's what I'm saying.
He's right, Pa. We been had.
Murdoch just wouldn't do that.
Well, maybe that's your trouble, Pa. Maybe you count your friends too easy.
I'm just sorry that you had to leave so abruptly, Major.
Well, you know how it is, sir. The sudden exigencies of government business, one never knows when the whole thing will break wide open.
Yes, I noticed that things seem to be breaking pretty fast since you came around.
Well, be that as it may. At any rate, I do thank you for your many kindnesses and ask that you say hello to that other charming son of yours for me. Up there. Up.
Goodbye, Johnny. Goodbye, Teresa. Goodbye, Mr. Lancer.
Bye, Vinny. Bye, Major.
I'm gonna miss her.
Yeah, me too.
Johnny, follow them.
Follow him.
Yeah. Just call me a tired observer of human nature at its worst.
He's got some parleying to do, Lancer.
At gunpoint, Jay?
Man, don't parley with a thieving varmint less than he's got a gun.
What are you talking about?
You just keep moving like I tell you. Don't you let out a holler, or it'll be your last. Now get.
It's all right, Teresa. Go back in the house, honey.
All right, Lancer. Get out and get in the house.
Hello there, Jelly. Where is everyone? Huh? Where is everyone? What's going on?
I've been waiting for one of Lancer's boys to come back so I could give him the message, personal.
Message?
I got your pa. He's all right, so far. He gets turned loose when I get the full value out of my land.
How many times I gotta tell you that land ain't worth more than the $400 Murdoch's already give you for it?
That ain't the way I figured. Daniel Rue offered me 5 times that much. So I own another $1,600.
Now, Jay, somebody's been putting some crazy ideas in your head. $2,000 would buy half the land around here.
Just fetch up that 1,600 by noon tomorrow. And get your pa back. If you don't, he gets killed.
We can't raise that kind of money by then. Look, I don't know what kind of a deal my father made with you, but we've got the deed to the land. We'll give it back to you.
Can't. Murdoch sent it to be registered.
No more of your lies. Just get that money.
What the devil's been going on here since I've been gone?
Oh, nothing's been the same around here since that Major Parker of yours showed up.
What Major Parker of mine?
You know, the one you saved in that holdup. And that little girl, Vinnie.
He's been here?
Yeah. He's staying here at the ranch while he looks over lands for the Indian Agency.
Indian Agency? Where is he now?
In town. Johnny's keeping an eye on him.
In town, huh?
Get up there. Whoop.
Where you going, Major?
Well, my business here is concluded, sir. We're planning to catch the 8 o'clock stage.
Oh, well, it can't be concluded, sir. You haven't bought up the land around Bone Mountain yet.
Bone Mountain. The government has no interest in any Bone Mountain land.
I wonder if I might speak with you confidentially for a moment, sir.
We only have 20 minutes to spare. However, Puss, you wait here, hmm?
You wait there, Puss. Well, I won't be needing you for a while, Timothy. Why don't you go on over to the saloon and have yourself a beer?
All right, Daniel.
Now, Major, there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Major, listen to me. I own Bone Mountain now, so there's no sense you pussyfooting. You got a deal with me for that Indian land.
Well, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about, sir. On behalf of the Indian Agency and the Susquehannock tribe, I have undertaken to purchase 100,000 acres of land from Murdoch Lancer.
But You can't. That telegram,
Oh, you mean the telegram I got a couple of days ago? Well, it's a fortunate thing that my superior, Mr. Belden, is a reasonable man. Because I was able to convince him that the Lancer land was far superior and at exactly the same price.
He bought you. That's what. Murdoch Lancer bought you.
Have a care, sir.
You had it rigged all the time. That's why you went up to his place and you've been staying with him. $21,000 in worthless land options.
Well, I'm sure I'm sorry to hear that, but, well, I mustn't miss my stage.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How much did Lancer pay you? Whatever it is, I'll meet the price.
Are you suggesting, sir, that a government agent can be bought?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting. I'll double it.
Vinny!
Honey, this is the big one. Now, I want you to go outside and play a little game for a while.
For how long?
Just long enough for me and Uncle Dan to have our little chat. Do you know what a decoy is?
Hey, Scott! What are you doing here?
Looking for Buttermere. Have you seen him?
Who's Buttermere?
You know the Major, Major Parker.
Oh, yeah, him. He's right over there. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Scott!
Hello, Vinny. How's the soap business?
Passable.
All right, where is he?
The Major? Gone on the swift completion of his appointed rounds.
Sit down.
Oh, it's too late, Lancer. Whatever little deal you had with Major Parker, it's all washed up. The Major's gonna recommend Bone Mountain as the ideal home range for the mighty Susquehannocks.
The Susquehannocks.
This once mighty Indian nation will spend its remaining days on the glorious land to which it is obviously entitled.
Well, for your information, the Susquehannocks spent their last remaining days about 200 years ago when the Iroquois wiped them out.
How's that again?
I don't know how he did it, but Uncle Daniel, you have been taken.
Well, where are you going? Where's your old man? Somebody tell me what's going on?
Jay McKillen's got Murdoch. Claims he cheated him on his land, and unless we can prove otherwise, or get up $1,600 by tomorrow noon, he says he's gonna kill him.
There's no more money. It's gone. $3,300 gone with that Major.
Well, Lavinia, where is he?
Gone.
No, he ain't gone. Not without you, he's not.
Suit yourself.
You want us to believe that your father left you here?
Who said he was my father? I got my share. I don't need him, and he doesn't need me. I feel pleased with I got a stage to catch.
Lavinia, come here. Come here. You heard what they were going to do to Murdoch? You want that to happen? Well?
Nothing I can do. Old Cloud's got to be miles away from here by now.
Hey, but you gonna let her go just like that?
Well, a fellow once told me that only a sucker gets down to one chip in a game and still expects to win a fortune. I guess we're gonna find out if it's true or not.
What do you think you're doing here, huh? I thought I told you I'd pick you up in Carson City.
But something's bad happened on account of what we did. Mr. Lancer's got himself in bad trouble.
Don't you worry about the Murdoch Lancers of this world. Vinny, any trouble they get themselves into, they can certainly buy their way out of.
But he can't. Either you gotta go back and tell the truth, or you gotta give back $2,000 of that money.
Vinny, don't you know what that money means?
It means no more cheap flim-flams. No more getting rousted out of these small cow towns by the constabulary or irate citizens.
With that money, we can buy a front. We'll be in the big time, Vinny. You want to be in the big time, don't you?
No, I don't guess I do.
Vinny, think about it, puss.
No, you better think about that, Claude.
Well, boys. And what brings you here?
We want you back at Lancer. We don't care about your swindle here with Drew, but because of your flim-flamming, our old man is in trouble, and you have to come back and clear it up.
Well, I'm very sorry, but I never return to the scene of my victories. You see, I couldn't do that. Everything I have done has been completely legal, where the local law thinks of me as a very good citizen. And if you try any rough stuff, I'll holler copper so loud they'll hear me back at the Barbary Coast.
Give me that money.
I did not solicit 1 red cent from you, sir. You volunteered.
No more fancy words. Just give me that money before I blow you apart.
Much obliged to you for the second time around, Mr. Lancer. I wish I could say this changed everything, but I'm afraid it does not.
I should have let that mob have you in the first place, Buttermere.
Mr. Johnny, will you take me back with you?
Oh, Vinny, Sure.
Why, Vinny. Vinny, what are you talking about?
I'm going with them, Papa. I don't want to stay with you anymore.
Why, Vinny, what are you saying, child? You can't be walking off with strangers. I'm your father.
You can't stop me, Papa.
Well, I expect the law will have something to say about that, eh?
What will the law say when I tell them about the way you've been raising me, Papa? To cheat at cards and shill for your swindles? What will the law say when I tell them about the times we've been run out of towns? Johnny?
Yeah, wait for me outside, Vinny.
Goodbye, Papa.
Vinny. You're all I've got.
You've got the money, Papa. Now you can buy the big front you've always wanted to. But you'll never be the big man you want to be. A man who'll let a friend get hurt for money will never be anything but a cheap grifter.
Wait.
Boys is waiting for you out there. That feller Parker, he done told me how it was. I was wrong about you, Murdoch. Feller lied to me. I believed him. Worst of all, I wanted to believe them lies. His greed to spoil me. And I want to pay you back the 400.
We had a deal, Jay.
Murdoch? I guess this means we can't be friends no more.
I'm sorry, Jay. When a man starts listening to lies, he's bound to lose something.
Well, gentlemen, I expect this is the end of the line for me.
Vinny's waiting for you at the house.
Yes, I know. There's just under 2,000 there, Mr. Lancer. I made an equitable division with Uncle Daniel. Legal money, gentlemen. Legal, if slightly dishonest. It's for Vinny. I would like her to have some good schooling. And perhaps a chance to be something else besides a cheap grifter's daughter. If you'd be good enough to see to it, Mr. Lancer.
I'll take care of it. What about you?
Oh, you can tell Vinny that I'm, let's say, turning over a new leaf. I'll come back to her when I've made a few changes. Tell my daughter for me that I go into this new life as naked of belongings as I came into the old one. Tell her that I'm experiencing a spiritual rebirth, let's say. And so, goodbye to you, gentlemen.
Think he means it?
Well, I might believe him if I didn't know that those saddlebags are filled with soap.
Not to mention that that was a Lancer horse he just rode off on.